Welcome to Make It a Better Day. I'm William, joined by my co-host Rachel. Today we're exploring an inspiring article titled Eco-Heroes Arise, Your Daily Power to Heal Our Planet. The article centers on this transformative quote from Robert Swan: "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." Let's dive into what it means to become everyday environmental champions.
That quote really resonates with me, especially after this summer's extreme weather events. The article mentions someone watching their neighbor's garden wither in the heat. We saw similar effects in our community garden project.
It's that personal connection that often drives change, isn't it? I remember feeling helpless about climate change until I realized how many small actions we can take. The article breaks this down beautifully with practical steps anyone can implement.
Speaking of practical steps, let's talk about these incredible environmental heroes mentioned in the article. The story of Jadav Payeng particularly caught my attention, spending 40 years growing a forest larger than Central Park.
What strikes me about his story is the patience and persistence. We often want immediate results, but real change takes time. Though the article also mentions Greta Thunberg, showing how quick impact is possible too.
True. And I love how the article brings it down to local heroes, like people starting community composting programs. Actually, our neighborhood just started one last month. It's already diverted 2 tons of waste from landfills.
That's impressive. Let's break down some of these practical green life hacks the article suggests. The mindful consumption piece really stood out to me. That simple question: do I really need this?
I started asking myself that question last month. My impulse purchases have dropped by half. But let's talk about energy use. The article mentions LED bulbs and unplugging devices. Did you know phantom power can account for up to 10% of home energy use?
I didn't. And speaking of energy savings, what are your thoughts on the plant-based eating suggestions? The article recommends starting with meatless Mondays.
We've been doing that in our house. It was challenging at first, but now we've found some fantastic recipes. It's actually saving us money too. The article mentions the transportation aspect as well, combining errands to reduce trips.
Yes, and there's the 5 Ps approach: refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, then recycle. I notice recycling comes last. That's different from what many of us learned.
Because it's better to prevent waste than manage it later. The water conservation tips are practical too: fixing leaks, installing low-flow fixtures. I just installed a rain barrel for my garden.
Let's talk about that personal plastic audit challenge the article suggests. 24 hours of tracking every piece of plastic we use. Have you tried it?
I did, and it was eye-opening. Found plastic in places I never thought about: produce stickers, tea bag wrappers, even the coating inside canned foods. But the article emphasizes progress over perfection, which makes it feel more manageable.
That's crucial. And the ripple effect the article describes is encouraging: how one person's actions can influence others. The example of influencing 2 people, who each influence 2 more, really shows how change can spread.
The statistics are compelling too, that 10 to 25% of the population adopting sustainable behaviors could trigger widespread social change. It makes individual actions feel more significant.
Absolutely. The article also mentions growing your own food, even in small spaces. I started with a windowsill herb garden, just basil and mint at first.
How's that working out?
The basil died immediately, but the mint's threatening to take over my kitchen. But you know what? It's these small experiments that lead to bigger changes.
The article emphasizes that collective individual actions could reduce global carbon emissions by up to 25%. That's significant when you think about it.
It really is. Let's recap some key action items for our listeners. First, try that personal plastic audit. It's eye-opening.
Second, pick one small change to start with, maybe bringing reusable bags or starting meatless Mondays.
Third, look for ways to reduce energy use, those phantom power drains you mentioned earlier.
And fourth, share your experiences. The ripple effect is real. When people see others making changes, it normalizes environmental consciousness.
The article concludes by emphasizing that we all have the power to be eco-heroes. It's not about making perfect choices, but about making better ones when we can.
And that's really the heart of environmental stewardship, lots of people making small, consistent changes that add up to significant impact. Visit our website to read the article and more.
Thanks for joining us on Make It a Better Day. Remember, every sustainable choice you make matters. Visit our Redbubble store for great article-related merch. Until next time.
Start small, stay consistent, and watch your positive impact grow. The power to heal our planet really does start with each of us. Keep making it a better day.